Moscow that can be reconstructed. And over here, these were homes that we saw from the bus. I think they were 15th, 16th century. Moving on around here, we have St. Basil, and behind the walls we have the Kremlin, 72 acres, and I suppose that's a helicopter landing pad down there. We have churches and office buildings for the government, that is. Yes, and this is not the typical view of Red Square. They're set up for their international band competition.
We have some population which is, well, the number of the population is not very big. You know, there are just some people. And there was a question. There is not a single one in the government. It is not like that. For example, we have the so-called two Vinnyts. It's Tuva. It's in the north of our country. The Minister of Defense is two Vinnyts. It was his private house. And then later it was the Museum of European Art. And now this is the part of the library. It is a reading hall where people can read books. And in front there is a statue to Dostoevsky, famous Russian writer who wrote his book Crime and Punishment, Karamazov's Brothers, and so on. This is the first building of Moscow University. Now there are two faculties left. All the rest are in one of the seven sisters. Duma, which is the parliament. You see double eagle, the emblem, and if you look up, you see the sickle and hammer and a star. Because the building itself was constructed in the 30s of the last century.
This is a statue of Karl Marx. Ticket on the metro here is about $1, and doesn't matter where you go, just entering $1. You can stay on all day if you want. And there's 190 stations right now. They're still building more. This is the entrance. The M is for the metro. Here's a statue of Lenin. And this is our gorgeous subway. Not so much so far. There's the map of the whole system. This is Revolution Station. Built in 1938.
When Moscow was bombed by the German fascists, people hid here in the Moscow metro. It is decorated with 86 bronze sculptures. These are the people who made the revolution. Soldiers, sailors, those people who lived in the first years of the revolution. Over there are students, some farmers, workers, and so on.
Nothing gorgeous about these cars, that's for sure. No, it's not very crowded. These come every minute or 2 minutes. Look how long it is. Every station is different. are sparkling clean. The walls are clean and well kept. This one is quite plain, but still clean as a whistle. This is Victory Station, built in 2003. Can't see it, but this escalator is 3 minutes to get up 80 meters, I guess. You see how fast it is. I don't know where we are yet. I'm sure we'll find out. It's the Square of Victory.
Just with high monument. This is the monument to the victory. White building with the dome. This is the main museum of victory. A very interesting museum about the Second World War. There is one big hall which is devoted to the Second Front, to the great help of British and American people during the Second World War. Then you see here the fountains. At night they lit up in red color because it's like blood of those who were killed during the revolution. So, and you see over there is a church.
Church, a synagogue, and a mosque in there.
The museum of the Second World War.
Triumphal Arch commemorates the victory over Napoleon in 1812.
And in the middle of the building at the platform and offices here, and in the distance on the left side there is section which the previous mayor wanted to call Moscow City, and one of the famous architects, Foster, designed one of the buildings there. It was supposed to be called Tower of Russia or Moscow, where in 50s these apartment houses were built, and they are of very good design. The ceilings are very high, rooms are very spacious, and if you look on the left side, you can see at the end of the building the kind of greenish sign. So with the security, everything which was according to their status. If you look now ahead of the bus, you can see very tall building with a spire. This is one of the Seven Sisters, as we call them. This is Ukraine Hotel. Now it is 41. It was very close to Moscow, and there was very serious battle when German troops were pulled back from that place. And
it's the American Embassy, right on a street. Pots in front.
Sisters. That was the one that she was saying was, it was an apartment building, but it was turned into a hotel. I lived here, and that was in 2000, 2001 when I was living in Moscow. People didn't keep, nowadays people keep rubles. It's relatively, it's relatively stable now. When I lived here, which was just a couple years after the devaluation of the ruble, after they had their kind of economic crash, people didn't keep rubles. People kept dollars, and they would just constantly, they'd go on a weekly basis to exchange. We learned why you have elbows, because it was crowded. When they first opened to the McDonald's, that's why I got sidetracked there. There's a McDonald's sign up on the right, and that was the first McDonald's. So when we come up to the next intersection, look down to the right, you can see the first.
There is the first McDonald's in Moscow.
All the flowers on his monument there. They certainly love Pushkin, absolutely. To the Kempinski you go. Okay. All righty.